Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. In Ukraine, the production of electricity from renewable sources is growing at a record pace. About 1.5 billion euros has been invested in the renewable energy projects in Ukraine over the past 4 years. The priority of investors is solar power plants. To discuss the outcomes of international investments in Ukraine's solar energy, we're joined in the studio today by Michael Yurkovich. He's the Chief Executive Officer of TIU Canada. So hello and thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
TIU Canada started its operations in Ukraine in 2017, am I right? Yep. Now, so far, what kind of success can you boast of?
Sure. So we've done one project in Nikopol, near in the Oblast of Dnipropetrovsk, and we're currently announcing our new plant opening in Kalinovka, which is in Mykolaiv Oblast, next week. So we've currently created, 10.5 megawatts in Nikopol and 12.5 megawatts in Kalinovka.
Okay, let's talk about the project in Nikopol. How long did it take you to build up this solar power plant, if I may call it so?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So it took us about 6 months to do start through construction and then plant announcement opening. So it usually takes about 4 months to do a full construction job, and that's in line with what we did at Kalinovka.
If I'm not mistaken, there's almost 40,000 solar panels implemented and are used in Nikopol, right, at the solar power plant. What is the amount of energy that is produced due to that power plant?
Sure. So in Nikopol, it was 10.5 megawatts. In Kalinovka, it'll be about 13.5 DC.
At which stage is the Kalinovka project now?
Well, we just completed it, and we're going to be announcing the plant opening next week on the 19th.
And according to your preliminary estimates, how much time will it take to finish the project in Kalinovka?
Oh, the Kalinovka project is finished, and it's ready to start producing power to help Ukrainians and power the power grid.
The power that is produced on your solar power plants, is it distributed only in the regions where the power plants are situated?
So usually the power is consumed by people in the local area. However, we sell to the power grid. The power grid sponsors and creates heat and light for all Ukrainians across Ukraine.
If I'm not mistaken, in your future plans, there is also another 2 projects that are due to be built in Odessa.
That's right.
Could you tell a bit more on that?
Sure. So we're going to probably be building 35 megawatts in the Odessa region this summer. And we love the climate, the business climate down in Odessa, as well as the solar radiation creates good jobs and good electricity for Ukrainians. And we're probably going to be doing more projects in Mykolaiv and Odessa after those 2 projects in the back half of 2019.
You've mentioned that investment climate in Odessa is very favorable. Why Odessa?
Well, the people are good workers. The land issues are very low, and great solar radiation conditions and strong grid connections.
Also maybe geography?
Well,
because
the geography is very close to the equator, so the solar conditions are really good. And we're really proud to see that, good jobs can be created for the good people of Ukraine in Odessa.
Okay, do you have any plans for the future that are going to be implemented here in the capital, in Kyiv? Because the investment climate in Kyiv is also good. I mean, geography might not be that good, but investment climate is good.
That's right. We're always looking to great opportunities. We're currently exploring opportunities right now in Kyiv Oblast. We look forward to any place we can create jobs and we can create good economy advantage for Ukraine.
Ukraine is planning to become energy independent by 2020. How realistic is this plan or desire?
Well, we believe that Ukraine's energy independence depends upon good regulation and the good development of a favorable business climate. For us, the renewable industry was a strong source of foreign direct investment, and a lot of companies around the world loved coming to Ukraine to build the solar power industry. We believe the solar power industry and all the jobs that were created and all the tax revenues that were created can be a case study for other industries such as natural gas, other industries that can create jobs and energy independence
Like what?
for Ukraine.
Let's sink down in that a little bit
Sure.
more. Which industries in Ukraine could be particularly also interesting for cooperation, let's say for Canadians or any other international partners and
Sure.
investors?
So for right now, a lot of people around the world are interested in infrastructure investing in Ukraine, working on roads, working on ports, working on anything that can create economic advantage and logistics. There's a lot of people that are interested in Ukraine's natural gas industry, partnering with large Ukrainian national companies. There's also a lot of people right now that are interested in looking at wind, that are interested in looking at nuclear power opportunities. So we in the solar industry are very proud that we were successfully able to enter Ukraine. We were able to create jobs for Ukrainians, and we were able to help stand up an electricity sector for the Ukrainians. And because of that, a lot of manufacturing companies can now come to Ukraine because the power pool does have the power to service these factories. And we, as the power companies, are really happy to be playing a role in the creation of a new Ukrainian economy.
Renewable energy sources, how could they be used or how could they be helpful in Ukraine's withstanding against Russian aggression?
Sure. So for us, the ability to create power without a lot of requirements for imported fuel is good because it lowers the amount of money you have to pay other countries to create your energy power pool and to create your natural gas caverns for heating season. So by creating more renewable energy, which is not dependent upon other countries' power grids or other countries' fuel trades, you'll lower the amount of money that leaves Ukraine every year to try and pay for heating and for, well, all the various budget items. And that will create the sustainability of energy independence because you can then have more money in your country to then spend on other things like cars or other sorts of technical purchases.
Is the idea of the whole country becoming energy independent, absolutely energy independent, how realistic is this?
It's very realistic if people have the interest and the will to proceed forwards. There are many countries in the world that have become net exporters of energy. In Canada, for example, the Canadian government in the 1960s and 1950s was not energy independent. But the Canadian government made a very conscientious effort, as did the people of Canada, to stand up an energy industry. Over the period of 1960 to 1980, Canada became a net energy exporter. Like Ukraine, it was a very agriculture-based economy, which then became an energy superpower, a net major exporter of petrochemicals and electricity in the year 2014. So we believe that based upon the natural gas deposits of Ukraine, the strong technical capability of the pipeline and manufacturing industry in Ukraine, and the solar conditions, and the strong electricity backbone of this country, there is a good chance Ukraine could become a net energy exporter to the European Union in 10 years. And based upon the amount of solar projects that are coming through the pipe, we believe that if Ukraine continues on its path of modernization, electricity market deregulation, and corporate development and foreign direct investment attraction, Ukraine could become a net energy exporter in the next 10 years.
Judging from what you've just said, we are on the right track. And we need to keep doing what we're doing. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing this information about the existing and the projects that are being planned for implementing. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Have a good day.
That was Michael Yurkovich. He's the Chief Executive Officer of TIU Canada. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for the rest.